Welcome back to Dev Errors Fixed. Today, unbound local error cannot access local variable reference before assignment. It's one of Python's most confusing errors because the variable is right there, defined at the top of your file and yet inside a function. Python swears it doesn't exist yet. The reason is a rule Python decides before your code even runs. We'll reproduce it with a simple counter, see exactly why one line poisons the whole function, and fix it two ways. Let's go. Here's the rule that trips everyone. Before Python runs a function, it scans the entire body once and decides which names are local. And the rule is blunt. If you assign to a name anywhere in the function, even on the last line, that name is treated as local for the whole function. So the moment you write count equals something inside the function, count becomes a brand new local. And any earlier read of it finds nothing, not even the global with the same name outside. The variable exists, but not the one you think. Look at our counter. There's a global count, 0 at the top. Inside the function, we write count plus equals 1, but plus equals is a read and a write. It needs the old count to add 1. Because the function assigns to count, Python has already marked count as local, so when it tries to read the old value, there is no local count yet and it throws. On the right, the fix, the word global tells Python to use the module level count instead of inventing a local one. Same code, one keyword, no crash. Let's write it. A modular level counter count starting at 0 and a function handle request that's supposed to bump the counter and print it. The body is empty for now. Let's fill in the version almost everyone writes first. Here's the natural code. Count plus equals 1, then print the count. It reads perfectly. Bump the global counter and show it. But that plus equals is the trap. It's shorthand for count equals count plus 1, so it both writes count and reads it. Because there's Python has decided count is local, and the read on that very same line has no local value to find. The bug is one innocent line that quietly changes what count even means. Run it, and there's the crash. Read the traceback. It points right at count plus equals 1 with a little arrow under count and says unbound local error cannot access local variable count where it is not associated with a value. In plain English, you try to read count before this local count was ever assigned. The global one at the top might as well not exist. The assignment inside hid it. The traceback tells you exactly what happened. It fingers the plus equals line, the one that reads and writes at once. It says local variable, that's the keyword. Python is convinced count is local and not associated with a value means you read it before the local was ever set. The tell is always the same. Somewhere in this function you assign to that name and that's what made it local. Find the assignment and you found the cause. There are two fixes. The direct one, add the keyword global count at the top of the function, which tells Python not to invent a local but to use the module level count. If the variable lived in an enclosing function instead of at module level, you'd use non-local for the same effect. But the cleaner fix is to avoid the global entirely. Don't have a function reach out and mutate shared state. Take the value as an argument and return the new one. No hidden globals, no scope surprises, easier to test, let's apply both. The fix. First one line, global count at the top of the function. Now Python uses the module level count, the plus equals reads and writes the real counter and it just works. And second, the version I'd actually prefer, a pure function that takes the current count and returns count plus 1, no global at all. The caller holds the value and passes it along. Two ways, the quick keyword and the cleaner design that sidesteps the whole problem. Run the fixed version. Handled request number 1, handled request number 2. The global counter is bumping correctly now, and the no globals version returns 2 as well. Same result, no shared state, no scope trap, no error, correct counts, both problems solved. Quick recap. If you assign to a name anywhere in a function, Python makes it local for the entire function, and reading it before that first assignment throws unbound local error. The quick fix is global or non-local for an enclosing scope to tell Python to reuse the outer variable. The better fix is to stop mutating globals altogether, pass values in and return them. The rule to remember, an assignment doesn't just set a variable, it decides for the whole function which variable you even mean. A quick note, reproducing these errors and explaining the real fix takes real work. If it helps you, the wallets are on screen and there's a Ko-fi link below. Every tip funds the next one. Thank you. That's unbound local error, reproduced and fixed at the root. The trap is that assigning to a num makes it local for the whole function, so I read before it throws. Reach for global when you must, but prefer passing values in and out. Subscribe for a new dev error fixed every episode. Tell me in the comments which one keeps biting you, and I'll see you in the next one.